All right, now we're moving on to Unit 1, Lesson 2.
Hey guys, welcome back to Unit 1, Introduction, Lesson 2, Research Methods in the Social Science. So our learning goals for this lesson will be to recognize the crucial social science research methods. So social science research is usually carried out step by step. The first step is to identify the problem. The second step is to formulate a research question. The third step is to gather data, and the fourth step is to analyze the data, and the fifth is to form and communicate conclusions. We will be looking more in depth in these steps within the next few slides. So our first step, which is identifying the problem, begins with a topic to study. You have to determine what you already know about the topic. And the problem which you identify, you need to state what you need to find out about the problem. The who, what, where, when, and why. Then you're going to be formulating a research question. This forms a basis for the theory. It states exactly what you want to learn and will suggest how you conduct research as a whole. Experienced researchers usually develop what is called a hypothesis in order to prove or disprove through research. Basically, a hypothesis is a statement of a possible answer to the question. So our next step is to gather data. This is usually in order to answer the research question in general. So the methods of gathering data include sample surveys, questionnaires, interviews, experiments, and observations. It is extremely important, as we learned in the previous lesson, to distinguish between a fact and an opinion. So facts can be supported by evidence, whereas opinions are personal perceptions. So it's objective versus subjective. Our next step is to analyze the data. This includes organizing the data, comparing, analyzing, and summarizing it. And this can be done with using spreadsheets, tablets, and graphs. And while you're analyzing the data, it is crucial to look for relationships between the data and the original research question. And it is extremely important to take notes. So the last step with the social science research method is to form and communicate conclusions. Forming conclusions includes stating how the data basically answers the question. Within this step, you're to draw conclusions about the research method used, and you can communicate these as a written, oral, or visual research report. What exactly is the importance of knowing things? Well, learning is a multi-step that occurs over time, and knowledge flows together seamlessly. Knowledge constantly changes and evolves, and schools sort knowledge and skills into subjects. So what is knowledge today can mean something different in 2 weeks, depending on what the circumstances are. It is crucial to look for connections among subjects because connections provide us with meanings of what we are learning. And understanding meaning allows one to use what is relevant to solve problems. What exactly is the point in note-making? Well, note-making is a thinking skill. It allows one to do 2 things at the same time. One is to think about what one is reading or hearing, and the second is to record thoughts for later review in case you need those thoughts for an assignment in the future or a presentation. Well, there are 5 steps to note-making. The first step is to determine whether the material is organized as a description, a comparison of characteristics, a list of steps or ideas, or an explanation of arguments or reasons. This essentially enables one to understand how ideas are connected. The second is to identify what is important. This can allow one to learn how to get to the point of what you are reading or hearing. The third is to identify the supporting ideas, arguments, examples, or evidence to support these key ideas. And as these are identified, thinking should be recorded in the form of notes relating to each other. The fourth is to add a title and use headings, and the fifth is to add references. Writing notes essentially allows one to be an active learner. And also it allows people to understand better and will allow one to get an explanation on the material that they don't understand. This can also improve abilities, essentially, to present on various topics. Now I will have you guys complete this quiz.
All right, guys, and again, we're not doing that. So next we will have Unit 1, Lesson 3.